Welcome to my madness, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Red Skull from the new What If Khonshu wave. Very excited to get this figure. This figure showed up early. I mean, here it is, December, before Christmas, and this figure wasn't supposed to be released until February or March of next year, and yet I have it now. So very excited to get this figure in. It was only one of 3 figures I ordered from this wave. I ordered the Zombie Scarlet Witch because I love zombies. Already got that one in, already did a video on that one. Now I've got this one. The only one I'm waiting on is the Zombie Iron Man, because again, I love zombies. Hopefully it'll show up early like this one did, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But anyway, we got Red Skull here, and when I saw the promo photos for this guy, I was like, man, he looks really, really cool. I hope those photos are not a lie. We'll have to see once we open this up, because of course we do have plastic-free packaging. Ugh, come on guys, seriously? Look, I've had more problems with figures having bent up legs and arms with plastic-free packaging just in the last 6 months than I've ever had in 10 years of collecting Marvel Legends. It's absolutely ridiculous that quality control has gotten this bad. Come on, Hasbro. You gotta figure out this problem and fix it, seriously. But anyway, we got the figure here, got the picture on the front. We got the Khonshu on the side here. You can see that this Red Skull right here comes with Khonshu's right arm. There's the other figures in the wave. Then, of course, same picture there on the back with a picture of the arm. And that's pretty much it. So, we got this here. Without any further ado, let's go ahead, crack this guy open, and see what we've got inside. All right, so we got him out of the package. We'll look at accessories real quick. Won't take very long at all, because he basically just comes with a cosmic cube, just a little cube of plastic, and that's it. I mean, seriously, that's it. Not even a gun or anything. Come on, guys. It's Red Skull. Give him a gun at least. And then, of course, we do get the right arm for Khonshu there. So we got that. All right, so as far as the figure goes, here we have it. And look, aesthetically, this guy looks amazing. I gotta be honest here. Like, they did a fantastic job with just having a really, really cool version of Red Skull. As far, look at that face sculpt, man. That looks awesome. It's got that slight animated look to it from the What If series. Just looks great. The outfit looks amazing. The coat is awesome. We got the Hydra logo there on the arm. Another one over here. We got the red cuffs, gray gloves. You know, we've got his boots that go up to the knees. Look nice. Even underneath, we've got a nice set of pants here. Sculpt is great. Sculpt looks really, really good on this guy. Not a lot of paint work going on here because he's mostly in solid black, but what is done with the red here, and then the silver on the buttons and the belt and the buckle, done really well. The paint that we have here on the face, got some shading and things like that, done really well. Eyes look good. Like, sculpt and paint are done really, really well on this figure. I mean, they are. Again, not a lot of paint, but what is there looks really, really nice. Now we get to the downside of this figure, and that's articulation, okay? Look, standard articulation applies here, okay? There's nothing new for a Marvel Legends figure, with the exception of the torso, all right? The torso basically has 2 joints. You've got the waist joint down here, he can turn, and then you have this upper torso joint, no ab crunch or anything like that, that's him bending forward. And that's him bending back. That's him trying to lean to one side. And there's him leaning to the other. Like, this joint is useless. It doesn't do anything. Like, either put an ab crunch on him or just don't even bother putting anything there at all, because all it does is break up the sculpt for no reason, because he's not getting any good articulation out of this. Now, that being said, it's Red Skull. Like, he doesn't need to pose like Iron Man. You're probably just going to have him sitting on the shelf like that anyway, so it's not a big deal. But honestly, at this point, I would have preferred no upper torso articulation at all and preserve the sculpt than breaking it up like that for no reason. Okay. Now, other than that, arms are fine. You do have the double jointed arms and everything, and standard wrists and shoulders and head joint and neck and all that kind of stuff. Standard with the legs as well, as far as Marvel Legends goes. You do have the standard hips and, you know, thigh cuts, double jointed knees, ankles, all that kind of stuff. Of course, when it comes to the double jointed knees, because of this cape piece or his coat, like, His knees don't bend, okay? there's no bending at the knees. Like you're not getting him into any positions there because of this thing comes all the way down practically to his ankles. So, look, sculpt is great. Paint where it is fantastic, but articulation is just bad. But because of the character, I understand why. I understand why with the long coat and everything and just the overall sculpt, why the articulation is going to be crap on this figure. You may not like it, but there's a reason for it at least. It's not just poor design quality, it's because it's kind of what the character calls for when it comes to the coat. I mean, it's basically the problem here. Big, long coat that's going to restrict movement when it comes to articulation on these guys. It doesn't bother me, and I knew this was going to be the case when I saw the promo images, okay? I knew it was going to be a figure that articulated almost for nothing. I got that. I was okay with that. I just wanted a cool figure to look good on the shelf, and I've gotten that. But your mileage may vary. Anyway, let's go ahead, throw this guy up with some other figures and see how he stacks up. And even though he's an animated version of the figure, this is still technically an MCU version of Red Skull. So let's throw him up with some other MCU villains. So of course, on the left, we got Baron Zemo. This is a fantastic figure, by the way. I don't think enough people realized how good of a figure this was, but it's great. And then, of course, on the right, we've got the 10 Years Red Skull, which again is a fantastic figure. Now, of course, with him, because of what he's wearing with the different suit, he gets way better articulation, at least as far as the legs go, but his upper torso joint is exactly the same as this new one in that it basically doesn't even need to exist because it does practically nothing. But either way, I think this new What If Red Skull stands up great with these two. Alright, just to give you an idea of what this new Red Skull head would look like on the old body if you wanted a body that was a little more, you know, flexible and articulated, I think this looks awesome. I mean, this works really, really well. Now, it doesn't work in reverse because the neck on the other figure is painted that bright red, whereas the MCU live-action version of Red Skull has a dark red head, so it wouldn't match with the neck. But this way, where his neck is black, looks amazing. And of course, it's Red Skull, so we gotta throw him up with Captain America. So of course, on the left, we got our MCU version of Steve Rogers Captain America. And on the right, we've got the new 20 Years Captain America from the comic book side of things. And I mean, he looks great with both of them. I mean, he's cartoony enough that I think he would work well in a comic display, but still looks enough like that MCU version that he also works with a live-action MCU display. All right, and lastly, we got to throw him up with some other Red Skulls. So we've got a whole lineup of Red Skulls here on the left. We've got a more classic comic book, you know, 60s era Red Skull. Then, of course, right next to our new Red Skull, we've got kind of a kit bash that I did with a Machine Man body and kind of gave him a futuristic body suit, something like you would have seen in the 80s with Red Skull. Of course, he's holding a cosmic cube there. And then, of course, on the right, I forget what wave this comes from, but of course, it's Red Skull done up in some Red Skull painted Iron Man armor. And look, this new guy looks fantastic with these figures. All right, so let's talk about price here real quick. And this guy goes for 25 bucks. Again, standard retail for Marvel Legends nowadays. Is it worth it? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, look, he doesn't come with enough accessories, in my opinion. He should have come with a gun and probably an extra head with a different facial expression. I think that would have made it much better. As far as the articulation goes, that's going to be personal preference because I can see why some people wouldn't like this figure because of that. But at the same time, given the character, it's not really a big deal for me personally, and probably for a lot of you out there as well. He's not a figure you're going to put into a bunch of crazy positions. You're probably going to have him posed again, just like this on the shelf, so the articulation isn't as big of a deal. So really, it comes down to personal preference. Look, I think it was worth it for me in my collection, but you kind of have to make that determination for yourself. I mean, I'm glad I got him. I really do like the figure, even despite not enough accessories and lack of articulation. I still think it's a good figure. I still think it represents Red Skull really, really well, and I actually really do like the fact that I think it looks good both with a comic display and an MCU display. I think that's just bonus points right there for me. But again, your mileage may vary. So that is it, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of this figure? Are you picking it up? Do you want it? Do you hate it? Just let me know what you have to say. So that is it, guys. We will talk to you later, and always remember to enjoy your collection.